Complaints about the high prices of propane gas service on the island have increased these days. Citizens demand the company in charge of this service to explain the reasons for this price increase.
Through social network and Teleislas news cameras, the community of the Archipelago Department has expressed its dissatisfaction with the high gas prices that have occurred on the island.
Very expensive, very, very expensive, very high. 2 months ago, I bought it at 130,000 pesos for the 100 pound. Now, I asked and it is at 160,000 pesos, and the 40-pound tank is at 56,000 pesos, and with the subsidy it was at 42,000 pesos. That is very high, when with the subsidy it used to be at 28,000 pesos.
Gas is too expensive. The cost of living in San Andres is very expensive. You cannot live in San Andres anymore. And the truth is that this gas was 22,000 pesos until today, when it was bought at 48,000 pesos with the subsidy. That is not fair.
The truth is that the price seems very expensive to me. For people with subsidy, it almost 48,000 pesos. I think it is an exaggeration because it seems expensive. I think it is 56,000 pesos without the subsidy. And for the community that is rising after the pandemic, it seems very expensive to me.
Teleislas News spoke off camera with the manager of the company that sells and distributes gas on the island, who indicated that she will make a statement in the next few days explaining the reason for this increase in the price of gas on the island.
More than 1,400 identities documents are held up in the departmental registry office, which is why they extend the invitation to make the respective claim.
The departmental delegate of the register office invites people who have made the procedures to obtain their identity document for the first time, change of identity document for minors, or digital ID card to go to the facilities of the register office for the respective claim of such document, as these are held up.
Please note that if you do not come to claim your document, these could be returned and you would have to come back to start over the procedure and make the respective payment. We will be publishing on the networks and different media the list discriminated by each category so that the public can approach the facilities.
In total, there are more than 1,400 documents that are reflected in the departmental registry. People will be able to approach the office from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon from Monday to Friday to make the respective claim.
The gradual reopening also comes for the elderly of San Andres, who can now resume their participation in their social clubs and golden fraternities.
Cerca de 250 adultos mayores que hacen parte de los clubes y fraternidades en el departamento están convocados por el gobierno departamental a reactivar su participación en las reuniones en los diferentes sectores de la isla.
Haciendo una reapertura.
And as we continue with more news, in view of the future hearings that are about to begin in The Hague between Nicaragua and Colombia, we spoke with a Raizal leader who told us his position.
The national government will have to respond this September in a public hearing convened by the International Court of Justice to the lawsuit filed by Nicaragua for the alleged breach of the November 2012 ruling that ended up giving Caribbean waters to that country. Ken Francis Raizal leader provides context on the issue.
These hearings before the International Court of Justice will be very important. There is a part of the lawsuit that was what Nicaragua alleged for the lawsuit against Colombia, which is the violation of its sovereign rights against what was established by the same court in the ruling of November 19, 2012. But along with this, we had the opportunity to intervene before the president when they had announced that they were not going to go to the court. We convinced them that we had to go because we considered that it was the only opportunity we would have to establish within these processes the fishing rights and other ancestral and historical rights that the Raizal people have in this area and its maritime. Fortunately, the government listened to us, and as a Raizal team was established, and we did the work of presenting all the evidences.
The leader also mentioned that the main defense of the country will be the care of the ancestral rights of the Raizal people.
It has been our territory for our food security, even for our life. In one word, our habitat. This will be part of the hearings that will be defined from September 28th to October 1st. And we hope with the plan that we have already made as a team that we can argue before the judges those rights that the Raizal people have in the archipelago.
Let us remember that this moment in the International Court of Justice in The Hague, Nicaragua has two lawsuits against our country. The first is for the extended continental shelf, and the other has to do with the alleged violation by Colombia to that nation's rights in the Caribbean.
A woman resident of the Cove sector and active users of the public transport service denounces that her sector uses the service every hour. And finally, when the transport passes, it does not stop because it is full.
Pani Howard is a Raizal woman who makes use of the public transportation to run errands, whether to work or personal. Howard finds it easy to use the bus since the area where she lives is far from the commercial sector. However, she complains about the poor transportation service on the island, especially in the area where she lives.
I just want to put the following complaint. What happened is I live Cove, and I have lived all around the island, and I have never experienced a service as bad as the Cove bus. And I see what the other people are suffering waiting on the side of the road. And supposedly this bus must come every 20 minutes because I heard a chauffeur telling a tourist that. And I have waited one straight hour, 50 minutes, 1 hour before a bus can come. And when it comes in full, a tourist, so maybe 3 or 4 islanders can get in there.
According to Fanny, it is impossible to arrive punctually to a place depending on public transportation, even if you leave on time, because in this sector, the buses pass you and don't stop. She also states that biosecurity protocols are not enforced since the drivers do not warn the users of the mandatory use of face masks inside the vehicle.
Many times the chauffeur them do tell the people them to put up the mask. Then put on the mask when they come, and then when they sit down, they go back in the back and take it off, and then they holler out and sing and all kind of things that spread the virus.
In response of this call, the manager of the bus cooperative added that because of the blockade that have been made, the cooperative has been forced to change the route.
We have a little delay on the Cove section because they have some little block off there. But as soon as they take off the block off, we will be transit again. So I will beg the people is a little bit patient because with the blackout that we hold up, because we have to modify the service that we give us, that we're giving.
The cooperative hopes to soon be able to resume its routes and just provide optimal service to the community.
And at this time, we continue with all the sport news of our department.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. Coaches will volunteer their time and encourage women to perform physical activity to improve their health.
The practice of any sport or physical activity is beneficial to the health. The integration of social, emotional, and physical aspect is essential for the welfare of human beings. That is why 2 professionals in sport and dance dedicate their time to share their professional knowledge with the women of San Luis. One of them is the physical trainer and former Mr. Colombia, Romises Brandt, who voluntarily offers his knowledge with the women of this sector.
I start with this group of girls. I come and I find them in the gym, and I offer myself to train them. We start like 6 of us, now we have 22 of us, and it's a program which we are doing without no earning. And I invite the community to come out and participate, do sport, make exercise, because you don't do it for beauty, you do it for health. Exercise is health. So I invite you to come out and let us live a healthy lifestyle, because we need it right now in the island, because we are getting a lot of heart attacks and stuff like that. Exercise can help. I don't tell you say, well, it's 100% sure, but it helps prevent a lot of diseases in the island.
The development and improvement of physical capacity helps people to prevent disease and improve health. This is what the professionals in sport and dance say.
With a team made up of 22 talented players and their technical staff, the Islanders make history in football.
After 12 games played, 7 wins, 3 ties, and 3 losses, San Andres Football Club is already classified with 24 points, 27 goals scored, and 7 goals against. It is a strong and confident team that jumps into the court, showing itself imposing and putting the colors of the archipelago in high. Competing against a team of great tradition and importance as Santa Fe, Equidad, La Coruña, among others, today is written a new chapter in the history of San Andrean soccer, and both players and coaching staff are very grateful to us those who have believed in them and have supported them. Kim Britton also told us about their performance.
Well, to the first I start bad, but thank God in the second time I start play better and I go square bad.
This will be all in sports for the moment. I am Victor Fusalva, Teleislas News.